Hi, and welcome to Caregiver Haven. I know you're frustrated. I know there's a lot of uncertainty in your life. I know maybe you're depressed, you have grief, you have guilt, and you're probably exhausted. No matter where you are in your caregiver journey, caregiving is not easy, but it can be simple. So I'm Suzanne Fasella. I have spent 14 years in the medical field as a physician assistant. And I've also spent the last 10 years as a patient advocate, working with my clients who are in crisis at the time they call me. Because mom fell and can't get into a rehab hospital, or the medical bills are piling up and they're going to collections. Crisis after crisis. Mom's driving and she shouldn't be. Dad's on ladders, they're living alone, they shouldn't be. So I've had to fix these things. But I want to talk to you about two principles of caregiving that we can solve right away. Number one, when we are emotionally involved with a situation, we don't think clearly. This goes for all humans. This is just human nature. So when we're in the middle of a crisis, we're not thinking as clearly as we could if we pre-planned our journey in caregiving and we had everything laid out ahead of time. We don't want to make those decisions emotionally. We want to make them ahead of time. And number two, I will tell you from years of experience working with caregivers, caregiving doesn't end well, unfortunately. Doesn't end well. The person we love is going to die. And as much as we can try to help them through the last days or weeks or months or years of their life, it's hard on us because we love them so much. And we feel guilty because we can't help them when we want to. So let's look at the Ultimate Caregiver's Guide and what it brings you today and why I wrote it. I have found that in all these years, there's really only 4 parts to caregiving. And if we can pre-plan and if we can set up these 4 areas, we will be so much better off to deal with whatever is thrown our way in caregiving. So let me explain. The first one is healthcare. We have to know the health of the patient or the loved one. We have to. Because as a medical provider and as you as a caregiver, you need to know what's coming down the pike. You need to know the chronic diseases and what they can lead to. As a physician assistant, I need to know, did they get their shingles shot? Did they get their colonoscopy, their mammogram? What about a bone density? Are they at risk of falling? Why? Because I know these things are likely to occur. And so if I can prevent them, or I can have you prepare for them as disease or disorders hit, we're going to be so much better off. We won't be caught surprised. Number 2 is the mental capacity of our loved one. We know it most likely is going to decline, and it's going to decline in several ways. 50% of people over 85 suffer from dementia. Dementia is a chronic disease or a progressive disease, which means it doesn't get better and it doesn't go away. Now, we have no vaccination for it. We have no medications for it. We do have 2 medications I used to use in my family practice. And what it would do is it would perk that patient right back up. It would only treat the symptoms, but it doesn't stop the disease. And what I would do is the patient maybe couldn't put 2 sentences together, got confused easily, behavior changes. And what I would do is put them on these 2 medications and they would perk right up. But it would only last for so long. Even after we maxed out the maximum dose per day, they go right back into the dementia, and much worse because it's progressive. It continues to get worse. Number 3 is the legal and financial aspect of caregiving. I will tell you, legally, and here in Florida where I practice, when the patients or your loved ones come into the office with the wrong medical records, we can't help them. The wrong medical records are records from another state. We have to have the correct documents by law that will work in our state. And we can't do anything about it. I've had chairs thrown at me. I've been slapped. I've been pushed because I can't do anything. Because this patient asked for something and the caregiver or the families wanted something else. And then the financial aspect of it. If I had $1 for every time a caregiver said, oh, Dad takes care of his finances, oh, Mom's great with the finances, only to find out that that nice neighbor that brings them to my office just got a brand new car because dad paid for it. Or the housekeeper, oh, she's sweet as could be. She's charging $1,000 a week. I'm telling you, I see this over and over and over again. Last but not least is moving. Eventually, your loved one has to move. Whether it's out of their home, whether it's into your home, back out of your home, into memory care, or into assisted living, or even a nursing home. The guilt is tremendous there. But what we want is the best place for them. And we have to prepare for this ahead of time. We have to find out what the choices are in our area and what we should be doing. Don't wait until the crisis hits, because there's usually nothing left. So I share all this with you to give you some clarity on the journey that you are either about to begin or you're already in the thick of. I want you to prepare. I want you to be ready for this. Again, caregiving isn't easy, but we can simplify it. So get the Ultimate Caregiver's Guide today. And then I'll send you lots of information and emails about new things and other things that are coming up. Let's support one another here. We really do need to. Because I'll tell you, when it's time to move mom and dad, all of a sudden, the siblings come from nowhere. The ones that never helped, the ones that said, oh, you'll be fine, thank you for taking care of mom or dad. All of a sudden, they start showing up and giving their opinions. But if you've already formed some very valid ideas of what you want to do and decisions that you've made that are good decisions, you've got a leg to stand on. I want you to enjoy this journey. I want you to make the best of it. Get the Ultimate Caregiver's Guide. Let me help you. Let everybody else who I bring into Caregiver Haven help you. And then down the road, we'll look at these 4 individual arenas of caregiving and start you on a deeper dive to how you're going to successfully conquer each and every part of caregiving and be the caregiver everyone is jealous of.